Yes, good afternoon, good evening. How have you been? Good morning to everyone listening forever, whatever part you are in this entire world. Welcome to here, Radio RFM, home of African music. I hope you're doing fine. I'm doing great. I am doing awesome. Right now, we are going to get into this afternoon with me, Queen Victoria, with the African Guides for Kids show, where we talk about Africans, where we share about most of the things that people don't get out there, most of the things that people really have to ask about, us, not only us, but as well, for people who don't get it, who people who are not indigenous, that's what we are asking there. We get the questions from. And here we get to know more about it. Remember, you can always join us on any kind of social platforms that you know, maybe website, maybe Facebook, maybe ask weird, strangest, most questions to us. Yes, I think y'all have seen this lady who really talk about the weird or the weirdest questions that she really get asked as an African, if there's internet at home or in Africa, if there are buildings in Kenya or in Africa, if there's Burger King in Africa. Why do I love my country so much? Hey yo, I think I'm so patriotic. Anyway, away from being patriotic, yeah, we get to be asked a lot of questions, which today we are going to tackle on them. And honestly, I don't know if I should say, I should give you really like an idea of how you should answer, or should I just make it clear for, sometimes rudeness or maybe answering in a very putting off manner doesn't help. But sometimes I think some people ask out of curiosity because they are not, maybe they are illiterate enough, or they are not really don't know how to do it. And sometimes I think some are asking out of innocence, some are asking just to try. I'm going to give you a question and a situation the other day I had at work. I found it very rude, but I have to share it. It was quite uneasy. So, it's almost to Christmas time, and Christmas, everybody wants to go and have fun with the family. They really want to go have fun with the family, to just join up and have that great time. For us Africans, to celebrate in a very beautiful way. So we always like it when we join up together, and African way, we just like slaughtering and all that. And I personally live a person who lives in diaspora. I kind of don't like Christmas because as much as I have my family here, I still have family back at home, back in Kenya, where I just wish to go and celebrate with them together. All the kind of traditions that you do, the cultural stuff, they are beautiful. When you see you're slaughtering a cow or a goat or a sheep or whatever, you name it. You just have fun. You just have fun with the family. So it always makes me kind of sad when it's almost Christmas. It's just that I have a great people in my life here. So they really tend to give me the spirit of that Christmas. However, we had a talk about it at work, and I was like, oh yeah, Christmas is not like my favorite festive season because because I don't have my family. And some lady was like, oh, okay, oh, so sorry, you cannot be able to go to Africa to go and enjoy with family. Then I actually answered very innocently. I was like, yeah. And then she was like, how much is the ticket? I was like, oh, okay, it's so and so, it's this amount. And she was like, oh, that's much. And I was like, yeah, but I'm feeling like I feel like I miss my mom. I wouldn't mind. And I know my mom, the other day, yeah, she actually opted to pay for us, as my family back here in Germany. And she was like, really? Can your mother even afford? I was like, really?
station with the best music. Best music.
Yo, I don't know why that song gives me like, that kind of feeling where you can just dance. You can just stand and dance and just, anyway, it's just the African in me. It won't let me just sit down and not enjoy every beat that comes along with me. And that you can experience with us, Radio RFM, home of African music. And that is Europe #1's African station for any kind of Afrobeat, Afro music, and as well, Afronews. Make sure to join us on our social media platforms, on our website, that is www.cradioR.com. And our social medias accounts are on Instagram, Radio R 99.2 FM. On our Facebook is Radio R. On our YouTube is Radio RFM. On our TikTok is Radio RFM. And guess what? Yeah, we are on Twitter. You know how they call it? Yeah. We are on Twitter and you can join us on Radio RFM. Remember, on any kind of updates, you can as well always go on our website and they're going to give you all the kind of updates happening not only in the African countries, but as well in the whole entire world. This is Queen V with African Guides for Kids show. Yep. And today we're talking about the weirdest, strangest, mustiest, everything nastiest, greatest questions that we get as Africans. What does it grow? Like, what does it make you go through when you're thinking about that? So, and I was like, before we went for a break, I was explaining I was talking about a situation where this lady asked me a questions about if my mama can afford to pay me a ticket to go for Christmas, to go for these festive seasons. And that kind of put me off, like, oh my God, what do you think about us as Africans, And she was like, I know you came here in Germany to go and look for money, to come and look for money so that I can support my family. I was like, my family got their own stability. They are stabilized. People in Africa are stable. You didn't come, even if we came to other countries, as much as we came to look for greener pastures, which I don't think is actually green enough, as much as we came to look for greener pastures, it doesn't mean that our places are not green. It's just that the irrigation sometimes takes time, before you find the water to irrigate the greens that we have in Africa. However, we coming here, it's a choice. It's just like, first of all, getting out of your parents' house to go and, look for a different place to live, a different part of countryside or town to live. It's just like sometimes we decide to go outside the country. We decide to go and get out there. It doesn't mean that in Africa we don't have enough resources. It's just that the sources, I kind of know, like the resources that we have. But however, we're not going to dwell on that woman. It's just that I find it so sad. A lot of people think African are not in a stabilized way. However, I just wanted you to tell me what are the questions that you, as a person of African or indigenous, a person who really comes direct from Africa, what are those questions that you really get used to? I'm going to go to Ronnie Otieno. Hi, Otieno. Yes, I'm going to go to him, and I will go to what he says about the questions that he said. He wrote 5 questions, and one of them is, why are you so light? Why are you so light? Like, Africans or people who are Africans, we have different shades of blackness, of darkness, of chocolate, of vanilla, of caramel, or whatever you call it. What do you call the caramel? We have different complexions. We have lighter shades, we have darker shades, we have, all the kind of shades. And some of us are actually light. Does not mean that they are not Africans. They are Kwanzaa, in fact, let me remind you of something. As much as I don't like to be called Africans, Moroccans, the Egyptians, the Mali people, they are Africans. So that tells you what? That we have different complexions. Oh, Iwinjo. I hope you're saying Awinjo. Yeah, so we have different complexions, and the thing is, not everyone in Africa have same complexion, and it doesn't mean you should be dark in complexion to be African. All right? So, like I said before, I'm not going to promise on how to answer them, but I can as guide you because it's African guides for kids. I can guide you on how to think for you to get the quiz, the answers that you get to be asked. Yeah. So the next part is how do you live with animals? And aren't they dangerous? Yo, some of people out there really think that Africa is a jungle where there are no houses or buildings. They think we live in a jungle, where you pass by elephants, be like, whoo, or you're passing by chimpanzee, those kind of things. They think like, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know even how really one comes to that. Like, what in the world? Africa got buildings, okay? We got schools, we got universities, we got laboratories, we got chemistries, we're chemists, okay? We got all these things. We have everything, basically more than what, actually, let me be honest with you. We have a lot of things that even Europeans cannot even afford. That's how rich our continent is. So we have a lot. None of them is buildings. So it's not like we live with the animals. We have animals. They are settled or they are put in their area, and that's what you guys come and visit and say it's a safari. Okay, they have their animal cages. They have the animal farm. So that's where they are put. They are kept. They are reserved. So yes, so the thing is, animals rarely live near human settlement, which is actually from, how we are created. Animals are said to be to stay away from human beings. Okay, so yes, we have parks with very very huge parks, and you may be surprised that many Africans have never been seen. Some of us have not seen most of the animals that you people come to visit and see them in safaris or whatever. So yes, we don't live with animals next to us. The next things, these weird questions whereby they say, "Oh, you're from Kenya? Oh yeah, I got a friend from Congo," and I'm like, "Yo, Kenya and Congo, those are two different countries, okay? Those are two different countries, not two different towns. Yeah, for those who are new, Africa has 54 countries. Actually, the 55th one will be born very soon. So we have 54 countries whereby it's divided such that there's east, there's south, there's west, there's north Africa, and there's also a middle Africa, Central Africa. Okay, so when you ask me about a person from Central Africa, like really, if I have to walk to the place, I need like 1 or 2 months to get there. Let's get it from there, okay? So these kind of questions where I ask, oh, I have a friend from, I don't know, South Africa or Zimbabwe, oh yeah, and that kind of thing. Y'all need to know that Africa is a continent, not a town, and not a village, okay? Some of you have been asking questions like Africa is a village where you just go to the next village and get a village called Congo or Senegal or Gambia to go and get a person there. Sawa, Africa is a continent. So the next thing is, what is life in the third world country? Like, I'm seriously telling you these questions. They really come up. I just told you about a story that just happened like 2 days ago, whereby one thinks that my mother cannot even afford some transport for me to go to Africa. Yeah. So they're like, oh, how does he be? They behave, or the questions comes in like, oh, we've never seen televisions, we've never seen computers, we've never seen cameras, we've never seen microphones, we've never seen doors, we've never seen roofs, we've never seen buildings, we've never seen any pencils, we've never seen any book, kind of thing. So I'm like, yo, why are you asking me how does it feel to be in a third world country? Yeah, it feels to come from a third world country. That's how it feels. Period. That does not give you anyway that does not give you the permission to think that I'm stupid, I'm dumb, or we don't have anything. No. Okay. I hope this is going to get to you. Really, sometimes I really uh, uh. Yes, it just makes me like wonder, what do you people get taught in your classes? If a mere something the smallest thing like that, you cannot know. Anyway, so we're going to go to the next questions. It's like, wow, you speak so good English. Where did you learn to speak English? And that keeps me wondering, what do you think? Like, what do you think we learn? Yeah, is it the Bushman kind of language? Like, or, like, what? That question's really put me off. I'm not gonna lie about that. So it really put me off, like, wow, you speak so good English. How did you learn to speak English so good? Yes. And it's like, seriously, some of the Europeans, some of the people out there, Chinese, whatever, y'all think that we can't speak English, but we speak. And it's so sad about that. The thing is, some think that Africans don't really learn foreign languages. English, French, Portuguese are not foreign to Africa since 1920s. That is for real. And even if it's foreign, why can't we learn it? Like, yo, it can't yet say a good Deutsch expression. That's how smart we are, Africans. When I bring some of my families here, they can speak French. When I bring some of my family members, they can speak Spanish. Like, Africa, we are rich in everything. Not only the beauty, but as well the brain. I'm reading some of your comments. Anyway, I'm going to go to I'm heading to the end where we're going to the end. Is something is like, do you speak African? People think that we only have a single language, like the whole continent. Like we have the whole continent, and we have one language. Let me tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, African as a continent has more than 3,000 languages. Actually, that's covering half of the languages that are in the whole entire world. And the other thing I was actually reading and going through is saying that, oh, Africa is the second largest. Actually, African is the largest continent, leave alone that first one. African is the first largest. Why? Because its richness. It might be in size. But yo, our richness, it's beyond what you can think. So yes, we don't speak one language. We have more than 3,000 languages. Like, this is serious. Actually, I have a work. I work with great professionals like engineers, doctors, you name it, professors. And I was actually shocked when we were talking, we were just having conversation, and they were like, oh, since y'all all colonized by the British, so I guess it is only, I don't know what they mentioned, and it sounded to me very, very unfortunate. Yeah. So I was like, Yo, African, we have, like my country, we have more than 50, 50, 54, or no, not 54, 45, 45 languages, tribes. And those tribes, every tribe speaks its own accent, language. Some of us, if I speak, some of my Kenyan fellas cannot understand me. That's how different we are. And I had to explain them like babies, like, yo, we don't have one tribe as a country, as a continent. We have many, many more. So you can imagine my country has 45. A country like Nigeria has more than 220. You go to Cameroon or Benin, they have more than 300 languages. Now you can imagine combine all those countries, each having each tribe their own languages, more than 20. Well, and it's a continent itself. You can see how much we are enriched. So African, we don't have one tribe. We speak different tongues, mother tongues. We speak differently. Okay, the accents, they are different. My accent and that of a South African can never be the same. My accent and that of a Nigerian can never be the same. So yes, we are all different. We are going to be on short break. Before I read all the comments that I can see them. Yeah, unaona mchangamuka.
Station with the best music. Best music.
I love music.
Yes, this is Radio RFM, home of African music, with me, Queen Victoria, with African Guides for Kids show. Yes, and remember, you can get us on every social media. Is on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And yes, we are as well on the website www.cradior.com, where we are going to give you any kind of information, because we are Europe's #1 African station, where we get to give you some updates on African news, on African Afrobeats, Afromusic, you name it. Use that call whatever you're going to call it. But us, we're going to get you updated. And today we were talking about the most weirdest, strangest, meaniest, and the most asked questions about Africans. And we talked about a couple of them. And I'm going to read when I'm winding up on this program today, is that we get some more questions. Some of you wrote, like Phoenix says, that ever been hunting a lion, ever been hunting an elephant? Would you be married if you are still in Africa? The lady says she was 16 by then when she was asked that. Like, seriously, we got some educations going on there, okay? Okay? People don't get married at the age of 10. Now, next time, wait. Anyways, some were asking, you guys got TV in Africa? Or do you have zoos in Africa? Do you guys got computers in Africa? And some questions, I can see one that I cannot read that one. Thank you so much. Y'all people make me, it's just funny how the questions come out there. And the other one was, do you have internet in Africa? Like, seriously, these are the questions that we get. Some of you might think it's a joke, but we get the most strangest questions. I remember when I came here, when I came here, like the first days, where somebody asked me, so how did you know how to stamp your ticket? In that thing, he was saying that there was no education, so I cannot read my ticket, where it's going, which country, And I was like, really? At first, but then I was naive, so I didn't get it. Right now, I find it quite annoying and quite not. It was very unfriendly for you asking me that anyway. I hope wherever you are, you're still living. That was really, really rude to ask me that kind of questions. So, we read. And somebody is saying how they answered. Somebody asked them, do you have internet in Africa? And the answer was no. I sent this email via smoke signal. Yeah, sometimes you ask a rhetorical questions, you get also very mean answers. So yeah. Some are, what is the capital city of Africa? By the way, that is a question that a lot of people don't know. Africa is a continent. Okay. The other day I heard people are being asked what is the capital city of Africa. Like I'm telling you, it was this year. Somebody was being asked in 2022. Somebody was being asked what is the capital city of Africa, and they said Kenya. Oh my God. Okay, so who is the president of Africa? Yeah, if people don't know that Africa is a continent, they are definitely ask that kind of question. So the other one was, do you live in trees back home? Or did you ever encounter lions on your way home? But I had another one asking me, have you ever had an encounter with hyenas and all kind of things? Like, yo, these animals have their own parks, okay? Whatever y'all think, I don't know. So, the thing is, Africa is not what is put out on the internet. That one I should tell you. We have a lot of things. Like I said before, it's the richest and the most blessed continent among so many continents in the world. So yes, we have a lot of things which we are going to learn, which we are going to guide you through, because here with African Guides for Kids Show, we guide you the African way, okay? And we're not going to, atuku judge, we don't judge. However, we always ask questions. What do you learn at school if you cannot know something very, very minor, like Africa is a continent, okay? So that's what we do, and we'll be doing that. Always join us here. We have also our own cultures, traditions that we are also as well going to share them with you. We as well have our Afrobeats, Afromusic, and that one you want to learn to feel and dance more. Join Mr. TP after this with his music, with the African beats, with the Afrobeats. Make sure to have also as well a space to dance, because it's about to get down. Remember to join me next Saturday with African Guides for Kids Show, me, Queen Victoria, here on Radio RFM, home of African music. Remember to join us on every social media platforms. That was on Radio RFM, that is on YouTube, on TikTok, Radio RFM, on Twitter, Radio R, on Instagram, Radio RFM, on Facebook, Radio RFM, and on our website, that is www.cradior.com. And that I say, peace out.